Family, friends, and other creatures from the sea. Today we have a game played between SouL, here in the bottom right, and Elazer, in the top left. Both of them Polish, both of them fantastic human beings, but also pretty damn good StarCraft 2 players. SouL deciding not to open up with a scout here on Lightshade, wants to get every edge that he can get. SouL, the executor of many a creative build, not necessarily the inventor, but for example, the 5 racks before eBay, 48 SCVs of CC first, is something that SouL likes to play very often. Sadly, this wasn't a CC first, otherwise perhaps we could have seen it here. It's definitely a classic, and he has a lot of builds that he seems to be the only one in the world that truly believes in them, and no other Terrans believe in them. So it's always fun to watch a SouL game, because it tends to just be a good time. Two things will happen. Well, there's a couple of scenarios, but there's 2 scenarios that are relatively common. One, SouL is extremely dead, and he turtles, does nothing, and then eventually dies once he tries to take a 5th base. Or SouL is extremely far ahead, and rather than killing his opponent, he throws down 17 extra command centers, stretches the game out for another 15 minutes, and then in the end wins rather convincingly, but taking his time. SouL is a passive player. SouL actually is not just passive, but I don't know a word that would describe him better than just passive. SouL's ideal game of StarCraft 2 would have both players not looking at each other for the first 35 minutes of the game and just macroing up, getting an economy established, and then the end of the game having one big fight. If SouL was a game designer, StarCraft 2 would have died years ago, because the optimal way that the way that SouL wants to play is absolutely the most boring way to play in the world. It's greedy, it is passive, and it is fantastic. I absolutely love watching him. It just sucks if he plays someone else that has the same mindset, because then you get some of the longest games in which the least amount of things happen. For now, however, he decides to open up with a Viking, and will be going into a battlecruiser opener as a follow-up. I think he actually cancels this Viking at the end, but I could be wrong. When you play double gas, you tend to cancel the Viking. It's not 100% guaranteed, but usually it is what you do. Now here comes the scouting Zergling. Gonna try to get up the ramp here. Ooh! 2 Hellions can block a ramp like that against the Ling. I had no idea. Viking is gonna pop out, and yeah, I'm surprised he didn't cancel it, because now he doesn't quite have the gas to immediately start the battlecruiser, but also not the end of the world. He will be able to deny his opponent's scouting, which also is kind of important. At least I'd consider that important. He's also looking for some damage here. Baling nest at home. And spores already. Seems like Elazer's preparing for Banshees. Banshee Hellbat perhaps, but it is going to be a battlecruiser instead. So that could be a decently sized surprise. I remember watching the real size StarCraft 2, in which the units have the size that they are. I think in the lore, I think there's like some documents that describe how large things are, and someone made a mod out of that. And the battlecruiser is actually a massive unit. It's an absolute capital ship. It basically has an entire capital city inside of it. That's how big it is. But here in the game, of course, it wouldn't be great gameplay-wise if it actually would cover the entire screen. Especially if you get 2 or 3 battlecruisers. Just blocking your opponent's vision with battlecruisers. See what SouL's gonna end up doing. Oh, he's gonna go into Mech here. Well, not a big surprise seeing that he opened battlecruiser, obviously. Ends up finding that Overlord, which Elazer did not send in. Elazer already on a 4th base, or trying to get a 4th base, and Creep Spread is looking mighty fine. Battlecruiser gets teleported into his opponent's main base. Let's see how quick the response here is out of Elazer. Does he pull all the drones away? Oh yes, he does. He's gonna be able to, well, escape with a decent amount of workers. How many was that? You can see it's not a tournament game, as none of these drones are showing up on the left side. That has to be done with a mod called WCS GameHard. So whenever you see that, you know that it's a tournament game. This was either was a practice custom game or a ladder game. I very often ask both Elazer and SouL for games, as I find both of them very fun to watch. And obviously they're good friends of mine. SouL already with a decent amount of cars as well. Look at that. There's no roaches here. I think There's not even a Rose Warren. There's 3 Banelings. That's going to be it. If SouL decides to commit with these Hellions, I think Elazer's just dead. SouL is a little bit, like I said, he tends to be a little bit overly passive. And I think that's what's happening here. He's perhaps not quite realizing his position right. No, he can just jump in. Just go in, kill drones. Yeah, there we go. It's not the greatest micro, I have to admit. A lot of these drones are surviving. Not quite what he wants. Difficult to see how many he killed. Well, a decent amount of workers have gone down. And he also lost a lot of Hellions here. Also forced out a couple of links though. So one of the things... Oh, I'm missing some battlecruiser action here. Excuse me. Queen is going to get taken out. A couple more drones will fall as well. So one of the things that often happens in these Hellion versus drone trades is that the Zerg will, yes, he will lose a lot of drones. But if he doesn't build any links, he can just instantly rebuild those drones. Elazer, however, decided to build a bunch of links. So now he's stuck with 19 links, which technically could have been 10 extra drones. Would have been a little bit harder to clean up the Hellions, perhaps. So maybe just getting 5 sets of links rather than 10 sets of links would have been the way. Like kind of the golden middle way. That's what we say in Dutch. I'm not quite sure what is in English right now. Mine is kind of blanking. 10 corruptors are on the way. You see +1 on melee. So usually when you see corruptor, it's not uncommon to see a Ravager push. Big Ravager pushes with corruptors. That could go for a potential kill move against Mech. I don't think Elazer feels comfortable enough. Instead we see him going for melee upgrades and range, which means he's gonna get a bunch of roaches and corruptors initially, but it's just to control the pace of the game. Make sure that he can stop Hellion run-bys, make sure that he can kind of limit the damage that these battle cruisers can do. And then he'll be going into Banelings with it. Ravager Bane into Infestation Pit, most likely for Infestor, Viper, and eventually maybe even a Greater Spire. The battle cruisers are looking for some damage. They will be able to find it here. 2 Yamatos go down. Instant teleport as well. 12 HP. That was a bit closer than I think SouL bargained for. 3rd battlecruiser also gonna fly in, gonna Yamato and teleport out. Takes a little bit of damage. Don't forget that in order to get a battlecruiser back to full health, you have to pay 25% of the cost of an actual battlecruiser in repair cost. Fun little fact. Now added on top of that is of course the lost mining time that you're losing while repairing, but that's less of a factor most of the time. I think that might add another 5% or so, 10 maybe. I'm not great with numbers. Dropped out of high school. 4th base being turned into a planetary pretty quick as well. We see the 50C going down already. SouL's gonna send out a couple of Hellions and he's content just staying at home, doing nothing for now. There's 3 of these Cyclones. This is the weirdest move out. 3 Cyclones, 2 tanks, a Marine and a Hellion walk into a bar. Sounds like the start of a bad joke. This is kind of what I mean. This is SouL's ideal game. Huh? Just clicking the buttons, making sure he builds buildings, not doing much else. Just kind of flying around with some harass. He likes to harass still, but no big engagements. He's not one for the big engagement. Just a couple of drones. He says, okay, well, that's live. He's gonna clear a little bit more creep here with these battle cruisers. He's 4 Yamatos ready, so he's looking for a target. He's gonna find a target here in these corruptors and he'll teleport out immediately. So. Gets a couple of extra corruptors. We see the units lost step 4.4k against 1900, practically 2k. Here come 4 more cars, but drone count here isn't high enough really for them to justify drones here. It's gonna take out 2 drones and a couple of links as well. Overall, it's going to be a worthwhile trade for SouL, but it's not going to be a game changer. I don't think Elazer is going to be laying awake at night thinking back of those 4 Hellions that roasted 3.5 drone and 6 links. I don't think Elazer lays awake at night very much because of StarCraft. Fantastic career. Elazer, of course, in 2017 winning DreamHack Valencia, beating, I want to say Neeb in the finals. It's the year that Neeb won 3 WCS tournaments and Elazer won the only one that Neeb didn't win. We had 4 major WCS tournaments. He also got top 4 that year in BlizzCon. Might have been or top 8. Elazer had some good performances over the year at BlizzCon. Top 8s, top 4s. Might have been a top 4 in 2016. It's difficult to remember. The years start looking alike a little bit if you've been playing this game professionally for 10 years. It's like it's a weird push again out of SouL here. It feels like they shouldn't be able to do too much, but here we are. What is this? 5 tanks? 4 battle cruisers as well with it. A couple of fungals going down. Good fungals, by the way. These are no half-assed fungals. These are good fungals. Very nice. 5 more tanks on the way, which means that a lot of the supply that SouL has right now isn't even really here yet in units. On top of that, he has a 20 supply deficit. So SouL just in general not fighting here with a lot of supply. He's 81 workers. He's adding, like I said, a couple more command centers. SouL can never have enough command centers. The only reason SouL doesn't build extra command centers sometimes is because he runs out of space. Now, one battle cruiser almost gets taken out. A couple more biles trying to rain down. There's no bailing speed yet. Elazer is trying to get a fix for that problem at least. Spines here will deny any potential Hellion harass as the Corruptors looking for kills. Ghosts are out, however, and they will find one battle cruiser, but they lose a couple of their buddies for that. I don't think that was a very worthwhile trade. 5 more Cyclones on the way. It's going to be Ghost Mech. This is something you rarely see. The fungal completely misses. Oh, how the Zergs must miss the days where fungals were instant. Oh, how the Zergs must miss those days. Instant and lock them in place. So you could just keep chain fungling again and again and again and again. And it did a crap ton of damage, ladies and gentlemen. Wings of Liberty. Oh, I don't miss that game one bit. 5 Broodlords coming out. 8 Spores on the way as well. We have +3 attack and +2 air weapons. And like I said, this is the type of game that SouL likes. Make it calm, make it slow. What are we at? 4 orbital commands only. Oh, he has a... Okay, well, there's 2 more coming up here. So it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to go up to 9 orbital commands. That's more like it. I know you love to do it, SouL. What's the transport ability called? The hyperflight? No. No, that's for Banshees. The teleport, maybe it's just called. I don't know what it's called. Another orbital going down here, or potentially maybe a base for this one. It's gonna get cancelled here, or at least going to get taken out. No? Gets cancelled now, maybe? Yeah, cancelled last second. This base needs to be careful. If a couple of banelings show up here, that could be potentially very dangerous. SouL sends his entire army there. Oh my god. Well, not his entire army. Still 4 tanks over here. A couple of turrets being thrown down here on the bottom side as well, and this base is just going to survive. I mean, without banelings, it's very difficult to do anything. What will happen? But I want to know what happened now. What was this question mark, SouL? I can't believe we missed it. Well, we're gonna go back. 14 minutes. I'll write it down in my head. The end of the game, I want to go back here. See what happened. 14:30. So it's just adding a couple of orbital commands. I wonder if this is going to be a Broodlord push or what this is. Needs 9 Broodies. 10 more Corruptors on the way as well. Potentially could be 2 more Ghost Academies on the way, so we're looking at some... What was there? I feel like I'm just missing things, or maybe Elazer's going wild. Starts hearing voices. Been playing StarCraft for a little bit too long. You know, it takes long for a computer Zerg voice to speak to you that you require more overlords, need more minerals, so you actually go mental. It's a really nice skin suit there. Looks a bit like lava. Not sure if it's the greatest camouflage, but doesn't look too bad. SouL's pushing forward slowly. Very slowly. 3 battlecruisers join the party. There's so many orbitals right now. We have 9 orbitals. There's another base going down here. This one's going to be a planetary, so we're gonna up to 10 orbitals. It's gonna be a dueling party. This is a SouL game. This absolutely is a SouL game. Oh my god, he's gonna give away these bad boys for free. Another fungal lands, and I don't even think these guys, they did Yamato, but yeah, one of them gets to escape. It's not quite it. Oh! Oh! Beautiful timing there out of Elazer. Know exactly when to throw down those vials. The battle cruiser could do nothing but just stand there and be like, uh-oh, warp to the wrong side of the map. Now here comes the move forward. All time to move forward if you just lost what seems to be like 20 supply. Single nuke going down. Let's take a look at the Elazer. He spotted it immediately. He's going to be moving back a little bit. Is there another nuke? Does it count as a building or as a unit? I can't quite remember. Well, right, I think it's a unit, but none of them right now are in the inventory. See if he can land a couple of big nukes. Oversteer is going down. Wants to start spreading those out immediately. Probably wants to put a spore forward as well. Scans going down. Look how little vision Elazer has here. Just almost has no vision. Tries to get all these changelings out. Sees this ghost standing forward. Tries to respread a little bit of creep as well. Snipes going down. Elazer's playing fast. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be fast enough. SouL has everything over here. Actually has nothing at home defending. So this is a huge army with a lot of ghosts there. I'm not sure if that's enough anti-air. There's a couple of infestors as well. Nukes gets made again, and Elazer's immediately aware of it. Now you can't be serious. He's not gonna fly into this, right? No. Oh, sees it in the dying seconds, but Ghost also goes down before the nuke lands. So it's not the end of the world. Let's see if there's another nuke here. Okay, there's 2 more nukes remaining. We have a crap ton of ghosts, none of them in position. Okay, this bad boy is going to end up nuking. Yeah, I think it's just going to straight up fly into an overseer now. Oh, if he can get all of these overseers, that would be a huge deal. Now a nuke is being queued up. Let's see how Elazer responds. Okay, he's moving forward. Here's a nuke. Does he start looking around? Maybe he didn't hear it. Nuclear launch has been detected. Oh, no overseers left. A couple of fungals going down. Elazer, losing a lot of your army here. Spore's not quite done yet. Without detection, GG gets called as Elazer says, I've had enough, and he lost the game. Nuke also managed to go down here on top of the third base. I don't even think Elazer was aware of that. And, I mean, the nuke does land, but... was it? Oh, what was it? 1430, I said. I'm so curious now. What did I miss here? What in the world did I miss? I am actually extremely curious. So SouL here has 4 battle cruisers, scans forward, and then gets taken over by infestors, I guess. Yeah. He lost it. Is that a bug? Is that a bug? I didn't know that was possible. That was beautiful. Alright. Well, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a little bit. And I'll see you next time for a new video. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.